What's up, ladies and germs? I am Mad Dog, and I am checking some of my email messages.
I say that because, first, let's talk about immigration. I'd like to see a president that would enforce immigration laws by having them basically do a background check like you're getting a job, some educational stuff like that I think would be important would probably be to have them at least learn basic English. I think everybody will agree with me that it's frustrating to go to any place, to order food or to do anything, you know what I mean, and the person not even understand the stuff that's obvious, that's on the menus. You know what I mean? If you can't even understand that, like, how the fuck did you get that job? You know what I mean? Because as a competent person, and being able to at least understand it, you know what I mean? If you hired anybody else, that spoke fucking English, at least they would be able to understand what the person's ordering. And that spans through all different types of work. You need people in this country, like we need to go to countries to learn their language. I think they should come into our country and understand our language. You know what I mean? So that's what I think about immigration. As far as if you're caught, being an illegal immigrant and you're carrying a different Social Security number, you should still be tried as a person guilty of identity theft. That's the same thing. If we get caught, anybody that's here gets caught with somebody else's Social Security number, ID, stuff like that, whatever, we get charged with those kind of stuff. Make it a felony. On top of sending them back, you know what I mean? Because obviously they're not trying to do the footwork to be able to get citizenship. So that's what I think about immigration. I think everybody knows where I stand as far as jobs are concerned. I think it's vital for young people to be able to start working as soon as they get out of high school or college. I think one solution is something that I had got an email about as far as jobs that are going to be open because of the technology changes and that kind of field and stuff like that. I think instead of waiting for several years in the future, I think opening those career paths now so people can get ready for when some of those more of those types of fields open up. So training on them and helping them be able to learn them. You got workforce centers that still teach old shit. Fix that. If there's people who are knowledgeable enough about about some of the technologically advanced stuff that's going on now, I think you should allow those people to teach those courses to help people get into those fields, so when they do open up, they're prepared for it. Getting certification, stuff like that. Get rid of the old technology out of the workforce centers. Upgrade them. They need to be able to at least let people print out the resumes, and if with the change in Microsoft Word and stuff like that or whatever, some people now they have to buy it, especially with Windows 10. I think is what the upgrade was. I think you guys need to help those people out. As far as jobs, once again, If you're an immigrant, I understand, that's cool. You need, work like everybody else. But as far as hiring those people, I think you should do a more in-depth thing. If something dings up that pops up that says, is that social security number is fake, I think you should not hire those people, obviously. I think they shouldn't worry about credit checks. Credit checks are ridiculous for jobs because you're trying to work on your credit and you can't work on it if you can't pay. You can't pay if you're not fucking working. It's a catch-22. Eliminate that process completely. That's what I think. Minimum wage. I know this is a touchy subject, but one thing's got to be worked out is just because you're paying your employees more money doesn't mean you have to charge the customers more money. You understand what I'm saying? It's a false idea. You know what I mean? You get more with honey than you do with vinegar. That saying applies also with what you're doing here. If you're paying your employees more money, which you should be doing anyway because they were making shit before, you can't penalize the customers. You're sitting there getting rid of all the dollar menus and shit, and like Taco Bell got rid of the 79-cent menus, the 89-cent menus. That actually drove people to go to there because it was cheaper. Now what you're doing is you're telling the customers that we're blaming you because we're having to pay our employees more money. That's bullshit. I gotta throw it out there. I'm throwing the flag down. Bullshit. If you want to raise minimum wage up to a decent amount, I think you should also, at that point, consider them full-time employees. Give them full-time hours. The ability to advance in your company. You want to expand, you want to make more businesses and move on and stuff like that, then get full-time employees that want to be there, that want to stay at that company. Give them health coverage. Minimum wage is something that they've been trying to tweak out and figure out. I went from making $7.74 an hour to $8.50. That's really not that fucking big. And then when I'm going on to, and that was full time. That was a full time position. But the 7.45 was that, I think it was like 7.74 or something like that, was my minimum wage. You want to help people to stay, keep their pay up to that amount that you're trying to do. Give them a chance to be able to get more hours in. Help them with health coverage. Encourage them to be there. You want those people to work for you, right? The revolving door thing it's fucking old school thinking. That's what I think about minimum wage. It's okay to raise it. I think it's good where it's at. Leave it be, and let's move forward. Last but not least, environment. Now, I know what you're thinking, man. This is one of those things that, you're gonna hear some repetitive stuff from a lot of people about, well, here's what we're doing now and fix the pollution situation and environment. Everybody's got green jobs and this and that. But here's one interesting factoid for you. It is spring and it's fucking snowing. We just had a blizzard in Colorado, as you know. In Denver, got hit pretty hard. Westminster, most places even lost electricity. And it's spring. You're like, well, it's Colorado, so probably, snows all the time. That's not true. That's a
that's a urban myth. It's just like everybody in Colorado either skis or rides horses. That's not the case. So in 1999 into 2000, I did a study on acid rain, and since then things have changed. Obviously, there's been more green jobs. There's been a lot of recycling bins set up in parks and recreational places, as well as working on making materials for buildings and stuff like that that are more green, less pollution, so on and so forth. A lot of factories and stuff like that are being imported from other countries because of pollution in our country. So a lot of stuff like that. But I think one thing would help is bringing factories back to the states, and not outsourcing, obviously, to other countries. And by doing that, we'll build jobs, and also think about, instead of using materials that were hazardous for our environment, using more that are health conscious, as far as green materials and stuff like that, and a lot of more solar panels and stuff like that, whatever. I think we're on a good track right now for as far as taking care of our environment. But I mean, the fact is, a lot of things come into play with it. Another thing is, since then there's been an something's been released about the HARP, which actually affects our weather conditions and can manipulate them and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the other reasons why we have such drastic changes in our environment, and and weather changes, a lot of floods, a lot of droughts, a lot of stuff like that. That's odd for the time that it occurs. We need to shut that down. HARP's got to get shut down, and I think that will it's kind of associated with our environment, and kind of not. I think if we could power that down, I think that would be helpful. If we're going to use it, don't use it on our own country. That's ridiculous. You want to do anything to change the environment and issues and stuff like that, maybe reflect it off to our enemies. Put that you want to discourage them from coming down here and whatever. I'm saying? Maybe flood them. Give them a drought. Whatever. If you can manipulate weather, I think that'd probably be okay to our enemies at least. But as far as environment issues, I think there's a lot more to talk to everybody about that, and kind of try to work on some strategies to improve our tactics, and trying to encourage people to be more green. So hit me up, djrabies@gmail.com, and let me know what you think. All right, peace.